Hello, my narcissistic abuse family. My topic today is a great one. It is about spiritual sabotage. I'm calling it. That is a form of control that narcissists will use amongst their extensive arsenal of other controlling tactics. If your parents are narcissists, or even your partner, your spouse, romantic interest, this was done to me from both ends of the spectrum. So, spiritual sabotage is basically holding you back from forwarding yourself in the area of personal growth, spirituality. So I was raised in a very staunch Catholic adhering family. No disrespect towards the Catholic faith whatsoever. I am still Catholic and we're raising our children Catholic. But my point being that narcissists will exploit everything, including religion. So this was one of the tools used by my narcissistic mother, toxic father, in an attempt to control me. Now that I am older, and if you follow me, you know that our son passed away in 2013, and that was a pivotal moment in my spiritual path. So when Joey passed, I was devastated, obviously, and I turned to alternative, I guess, comfort, consolation. I started watching the Long Island Medium, and when I realized that there's more to life than this physical presence, it was everything to me to realize that Joey is around us all the time was the only consolation for me at that time. So my husband and I, we actually saw the Long Island Medium. I've been in contact with several mediums since then, and undoubtedly in my heart, I know that there is more to life than this physical existence. So I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. So my point being that, the efforts of my toxic parents in using Catholicism to control me growing up, it was like, the 10 Commandments, honor thy father and thy mother. That one is particularly painful, but I have posted about this in my Instagram, and I've also done videos about it. And your responses are so great. Someone actually posted a Bible verse quoting, God says not to, essentially it was like, don't abuse your children. So if you can't cherry pick passages that you're going to impose on your children, follow them yourself and then come back and talk to me. So that was one of the best responses to that I've heard myself. But anyway, my point being, the spiritual growth I believe that we're all undergoing as victims of narcissistic abuse, recovering, it's kind of inevitable that we will undergo spiritual growth and changes, because we're constantly evaluating ourselves. We're constantly, striving to be better people. It's craziness over here. I'm not going to lie. My children, you hear them. They're just being nuts. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to get through this. So, our spiritual growth is inevitable. As victims, we're constantly reevaluating our standing, our character, how can we be better people? We have been leveled by their dismissive, non-nurturing treatment of us for our entire lives. So essentially, we're starting from scratch, rebuilding who we are and what we stand for. And I know that you feel the same way that I do, that you want to be the best version of yourself possible and offer the best of yourself to your loved ones. My family consists of my husband and our children now, and our dog, very much part of our family. But all right, so I read this book. One of my dear friends is a medium that I treasure. She's one of the best mediums out there, Gina Marie. If you're interested in a spiritual reading, if you're trying to contact someone that has passed, she is the bee's knees in this realm. So anyway, she recommended a book to me. It's called Echoes of the Soul by Echo Bodine. It is such a game changer. It's a life-changing book. It really profoundly impacted me, and if you're looking for something of that nature, I highly suggest it. So I made the mistake, before I went no contact, obviously, I made the mistake of purchasing this book and giving it to the narc mother. Now, she read it, but of course she comes back to me with like trying to be controversial and whatever. Now, she loves to portray herself as the ultimate Catholic. She is like a saint, essentially. She's a martyr. She's just perfect. Like that narcissistic entitlement, superiority, that is very much my narcissistic mother. So it was a huge waste. I'm sorry that I wasted this wonderful publication on this woman. But basically, I have been on a spiritual journey, as I'm sure you are, and narcissists hate that. They want you to adhere to whatever organized religion or belief system that they do, because that's a way to keep you in a box. Narcissists are obsessed with being in control because, you know, the elements that are out of their control, the factors that they cannot, you know, force into compliance with their narrative are a threat to them, and they don't like that. So essentially, if you try to go down that path, they will do everything they can to stand in your way, to inhibit you from becoming your best self, being a better person. There's Gino. That's him. You just heard him. Part of our family, for sure. My dog. But spiritual sabotage is absolutely, if you have a narcissistic parent, they will do this because they want to keep you controlled. They want to use their organized religion as a way to keep you in line, to keep you compliant with their demands. And they want to keep you subservient, essentially. And this happened to me with, you know, the romantic interest, that the jerk that I was engaged to over 10 years ago. He was big into Catholicism as well. You know, not trying to give Catholicism a bad rap, but he used that also. I was very, you know, I was just I was in my young 20s, and he used it like acting as if he was holier than thou, and he was compliant with this religion, so that somehow made him better than me because he was so faithful, and he went to church, and his parents went to church, and I was just despicable if I did not follow these rules and regulations of the organized religion. Now, this can apply to anything. Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, you know, you name it. You know, you can apply it to your situation. This was my personal situation. And I've done several posts on this, and I have done a video on this as well. Narcissists use religion as a way to control you, as a way to manipulate you. They exploit religion like nothing is sacred to these people. It's deplorable. It really is. And ultimately, I know a lot of you have said this as well, you've been totally turned off to your religion because of the narcissist. Don't let them do that. You find your own way. My husband and I feel very strongly that we just want our children to have a solid foundation in their faith, and that's why they're receiving they received the sacrament of baptism, being christened. They did that, and they're receiving their sacraments of communion. And I think we're going to stop after that. We're good. We want them to have a good foundation and then make their decisions going forward as to how they want to conduct themselves. Take away being, have a solid, rooted faith system, essentially, is what we're striving for. But if you have a narcissistic parent and you're undoubtedly traveling down this path of spiritual growth, they'll do everything they can to inhibit you from doing this, because they're stuck in their immature mentality. They're very narrow-minded. They have tunnel vision. They do not want anyone around them to have free will. And as their child, you're a person, you have free will, and they hate it and they want to control you. And they're going to do whatever they can to sabotage your spiritual growth. And don't forget, they're like back here in our heads as our inner critics, because they have laid the foundation of these toxic belief systems. So they're sabotaging us all the while, even when they're not around, because we have that negative self-talk, that negative self-perception, and it inhibits us from living our best lives, being our best selves. But thank God, finally breaking away from that. I have initiated no contact, and it's an open road, and I'm thrilled to explore whatever endeavors speak to me and that I believe can help other people, and you should do the same. So I love you all. We're bumped and we're bruised, but more than anything, we are blessed because we are arming ourselves with the education of narcissistic abuse. I'll come back at you with another video, and like I said, I love and appreciate you all. Please please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be super awesome. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, and hit the bell so that you get notified when I put out a new video. That's all for now. Spiritual sabotage. Narcissistic abusers will do this to you to try to force you into compliance and to keep as much control over you as possible. See you guys soon.